Welcome to a new episode of Thoughts on Education. Today we have Dr. Gopal Punjal, who is President, Swift Group of Colleges. Welcome to Thoughts on Education, sir.
Thank you.
So, could you briefly introduce yourself?
Well, I'm Dr. Munjal. Basically, entered into the education in the year 2008. Otherwise, my basic uh, projects are pharmaceuticals. We are basically a pharmaceutical company with the name and style Insert Group. So we are into API and formulation both. Present almost more than half of the globe. Exports and of course in domestic market as well. So we enter into education. We enter into education basically to produce our own product. We started with the education in pharmacy, B pharmacy. Well, we are sitting in a very northern part of India, that is in Chandigarh, and it's difficult to get highly skilled person of pharmaceutical industry in this part, because pharmaceutical industry is basically from Maharashtra or Tamil Nadu and maybe Gujarat. These are the three major states where the pharmaceutical industry is. So it was difficult for us to hiring highly skilled persons. So then we thought of why not we produce our own product, and that's how the idea of coming to the education with pharmacy as a background, it come, and we started in 2008, the first batch, and for the first consecutive 3-4 years, we were topping Punjab as far as our pharmacy college was. And afterwards, then we enter into lot many other educations. Well, when pharmacy was success, then we thought of entering into the other medical field. Then nursing, we took another field, and nursing so far we started in the year 2010 until 2021. We are 100% nursing. Never in a year we got 80 or 70% admissions and all those things. And in the 3-4 consecutive years, our nursing student was also topping as far as the Punjab state is concerned. And then after nursing, we enter into other fields of technical educations like engineering, management, humanities. Basically, our aim is to going forward with medical and allied university, and at the same time a sports university.
That's good, sir. So my question to you would be: you have held key position at the Education Institute throughout your professional career. What are the key factors that keep you connected with the education sector?
There are a lot many. First is selfish. I told you that I want to produce my own products. Second, the deterioration of the education. Our governments are doing fantastic. They are giving lot many policies, scholarships to SC students and all those things. Their main motto for promoting education may be good, but the hard fact is, we have not reached nowhere comparing globe. That's why a lot of our products are going out and they're excelling. Our basic education system, we have to have a lot of transformation which is required. And probably that was the second reason I entered into education. At least if I able to give something back to the society. This is not possible till I am at college. But the soon I'm going to be converted myself into the universities, definitely what passion I'm having, I'm going to go forward with that. And hopefully I may contribute into the education sector.
Definitely. Secondly, I would like to ask you, What is your philosophy on leadership, and how would you describe your leadership style?
Leaders are not born, they are made. And sometimes, opposite way around, leaders are born. So it's a controversial statement, both ways.
Definitely, sir.
But definitely, uh, a leader cannot be produced, it can be made. There are a lot many things in leadership qualities. If you have got following, your followership, your philosophy, your mannerism, your attitude, your vision, all those things matter a lot. Then only the people will follow you. If you are an aimless person, having no vision, no goal, nobody is going to follow you. Leader means you are leading something. There are the persons who are following you. They are highly impressed from you. They want to make you as benchmark. Then you have to have those extra skill and clear-cut vision. Then only the people is going to follow you.
I 100% agree with that. Now, I would like to ask you, the education system in India and other foreign countries are structured very differently. In your experience, what can an inbound student gain from studying here at your institute?
Very rightly so. This is a valid question. Probably I have touched these questions earlier. We, from the basic education, I'm starting from nursery and all that. We are not preparing, grooming the overall personality of a kid or a person. We are just making him ratifications, all those things. But education system in India and globe, there's a lot of difference. They understand the psychology of the kid from the very beginning. Where the kid is interested, they'll follow and they'll guide that kid according to the interest and according to what the skill he's having, or they perceive that the skill he may be having. They'll guide the student according to that. And that's why it's overall grooming. You talk about literature, you talk about sports, you talk about politics, you talk about education, you talk about anything where we stand as far as India is concerned. But yes, the moment after basic education, my Indian goes out. They excel. Today in NASA, 40% of the strength in NASA is Indian.
Wow.
You talk about highest of the CEOs in different companies, they are Indians, including your Google. Basically, they were Indian, but they were born and brought up studies in other countries, maybe developed countries. So definitely, if they get, because we have got grey matter, but we are not having that matching infrastructure and matching gurus over there. And that's why we left behind. And definitely, I'll not comment on the political structure in India. It's an interview. Yeah, I don't want to comment anything, but you understand that.
Yeah. So, any insights into how your institute could be more welcoming to the students of different races or economic backgrounds?
Well, as far as my this institute is concerned, now I have given whatsoever I told you. If I understand that, and if I'll not implement all those things which are shortcomings, then I'll not be justifying coming into the education system. So I have planned all those things, how my education is going to be. Today we are talking about colleges and the universities, but I am talking about grooming of the student from the very beginning, associating with the schools, wherever my reach can be, understanding the psychology of the students, understanding their financial, economic factors also, because in India, that is also major. You have seen the latest Olympia. girl students, they have done remarkably well. But see the humble background they were from. Without having any infrastructure, without having any support, neither from the government nor from their surroundings, they excel and they win medals in the Olympic. Now, you understand, if they could have been given all those facilities, probably we could have earned the maximum golds.
Yes, sir.
But now all those things are within my thought processes now, where the economically poor are there, we are there to support them, depending upon their merits, depending upon their skills.
Definitely.
Definitely, if they have got that meticulous, they have got that merit to be, they are going to excel, and definitely I'll give account. And I have already given, I think on my birthday, there's a statement in the papers that I am promoting 100% support in India. Not cricket only. You talk about different sports, and if a person who is a district, national, state, wherever participated or a winner, I'm going to provide them free education and the free training. That's promoting sports part of it, which is my ultimate aim coming to the sports university. And as far as the medical and allied, definitely my main motto will be on R&D sector. Research for my students, and definitely with all backgrounds, I don't have any problem as far as the humble backgrounds are concerned. The person can pay or not. Definitely, if a person is having skill, I'm there to support him.
That's great, sir. So, what do you think your roles and responsibilities are to the university and to the students?
To produce the best, who can lead in whatsoever sector he is. That's a only aim, goal, or vision I am.
That's great, sir. So, when you first came to the institute, what was your vision for the university? Has it evolved over time? And how far along in implementing the vision are you?
Well, it's just 10 years I'm into this sector. And maybe my plans were that I should be converted myself into a university by 2025. And probably I have fulfilled all the eligibilities. But the only thing is, stakes are very high as far as the university part is concerned. Definitely, I want to equip further myself within the next 2 years, so that the moment I'll be university, I can fulfill all those dreams or the vision what I am having.
Definitely, sir. Sir, what would you like people to know about your institute that they may not know?
Well, today this is shopping around in India. As far as the institutions are concerned, you talk about South, you talk about North, you talk about West, mushrooming growth of education sector in India, where quality take a backseat sometimes. It's only your branding, how you market it, how you show. Or in Hindi, UK, sometimes narka publicity department, you can say. I'm not doing that publicity myself, but definitely as far as the quality part is concerned, we ensure the student should get overall grooming. It's not only the education, it's the literature, it's cultural, it's sports, it's personality development, and more that you understand that I may be one of the very few institutes who are backed by the industry. I'm having an industry, and that group is more than 2,000 crore group, which I'm owning. 100% job for all sectors. I'm not talking about only pharmaceutical, because I need MBAs also, I need BComs also, I need BA also, I need medical and sales representatives also, marketing, office job, each and everything. So every year I'm needing about 200, 250, 300 new recruitments are taking place. Now, today I am taking interview, there are 300, 400 persons who come to me, and I couldn't able to select even 2 or 3 out of them. That's a pathetic state which I feel, or more of the industrialists, they feel also. Taking into consideration all those factors, in my education institute, I'm taking all these factors, that tomorrow my person, if he's interviewing, going to be interviewing in my own industry, which is a transparent part. It's not there that I'm going to select him 100%. No. He has to appear for the interview in my own industry. But now, what are the capabilities and caliber the student require to be clear through that interview sessions? Those are my special thing in my institution. That is a group discussions. You talk about group discussions. You talk about knowledge level, not only job related, but otherwise also. You talk about English speaking. You talk about attitude, mannerism. Many things are there, which we take otherwise, and we don't charge anything for that. It's an overall grooming with the students.
So, last question I would like to ask you: any suggestions you would like to give to the current youth and aspiring students?
One thing, from the very beginning, they should have one benchmark. Whatsoever the skill they think, because I can lie to all others, including my parents, my teachers, my gurus. I cannot lie to myself. तो मेरा students के साथ यही रहेगा. They should see in the mirror, eye to eye contact, and ask himself or herself, what are my capabilities? What are my abilities? Leave aside resources. What are my capabilities? What are my abilities? Can I be successful in one particular line, what I think in my brain? If you are sure of that, then be determined. And the moment you are determined, you'll get the support from outside world, whatsoever it is. But your determination, your vision, your goals, that should be in front of you always. Never deviate. तांगा होता है, तांगे के आसपास वो लगे होते हैं, वो इसलिए घोड़ा बिथ के नहीं. And the same way as youth, they should not be wavered mind, because today we have got 100, 200, 300 different options to follow. But we have to understand what capability and caliber we are having. So we'll follow that where I know my capabilities can be. And the moment I kept a goal, then forget about anything. Just pursue and reach the goal. If a handicapped person can reach Mount Everest.
Yes, sir. That's a very great insight, sir. That's all from my side. Thank you for being part of this interview.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you so much.